Broadcasting to you from the heart of northern Minnesota, you are listening to the best music-oriented podcast and web series on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Roger Radio Show. I am Roger Radio.
And I'm Aegis on Levity.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend.
Come inside.
There behind the glass stands a real blade of grass. Be careful as you pass. Move along. Come inside. The show's about to start. Guaranteed to blow your head apart. Rest assured you'll get your money's worth. The greatest show in heaven, hell, or earth.
You gotta see the show. It's a dynamo.
You gotta see the show. It's rock and roll. And that's exactly how we're starting with today's legit fucking album review, folks. I got my beer, I started my new job, and I can't be any more fucking happier than I am right now, folks. And we got a treat for you.
I'll be right back. I forgot to grab a beer.
Grab your fucking beer, dude. Jesus. He forgot his shit, and I swear to God, I don't know why the hell I bring him on here. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for today's episode. Oh, we got a really good one for you today. If you want to see more music-related content, remember to subscribe to the Roger Radio Show. Hit the like button and comment what you think we should review, or just comment saying, Roger, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Go outside, get a hamburger or whatever, you know?
Yeah, go outside, get a hamburger.
You look sick. Just do what Quaffing did with iDubbbz. You look sick, man. Go eat a hamburger and all that. Come on, dude. We ain't got all day. We got a fucking show to start.
All right.
Yeah.
Not yet officially sponsored.
And I have this. I already had a drink, so I'm good.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into today's legit album review, another sad passing to note, man. If any of you out there are synthwave fans like I am, then I'm sure a lot of you have heard Kavinsky, who was really one of the, I would say one of the symbols of the 2010 synthwave movement, has sadly passed away. He was only 50 years old, man. 50 fucking years old. You know, and he obviously made some really good songs, man. Like his song Night Call, which is probably his most famous one. A hell of a good tune to use if you're making any memes or YouTube poops and all that kind of stuff. So, but don't forget, dude, if you know who the musician The Weeknd is, The Weeknd actually did vocal appearances on one of Kavinsky's songs. And mind you, this was before The Weeknd blew up. So it's so insane to think about. I guess you could say for The Weeknd, I think some of his music was influenced by Kavinsky. So, but yeah, rest in peace, Kavinsky. I'll be sure to be blaring out the song for you, man. Rest in peace. So, Aegis, you remember the first album that we reviewed on here by the one and only Emerson, Lake and Palmer?
TRRS.
Yes, sir. And we got another treat for you Emerson, Lake and Palmer fans out there, because today we are going to review their 1973 album, Brain Salad Surgery. For the obviously Karn Evil 9's I believe their best suite alongside TRRS, but the other songs on the beginning, what in the fucking Christ was I listening to? Don't get me wrong, I'm an ELP guy, but I don't know, the songs did not hit it for me.
Just for the record, when we're ranking these songs, should we just consider Karn Evil 9 one big song?
I would say so, but because of the fact that they have them broken up into like 4 different parts instead of like one whole song, like they do with TRRS. We're gonna review Carnival 9 in like their different sections. Because remember, Aegis, the other 4 songs are all Carnival 9. Like First Impression Part 1, Part 2, Second Impression, and Third Impression. It would have probably been more easier if they would have just released that as one whole single, Just saying. But I know there is a really good story behind Carnival 9, but we will get into that soon. What were your thoughts about this song?
Just the song or the album?
Oh, I meant the album, my bad.
I think it's one of the Emerson, Lake and Palmer's best albums. I think it's really good. Not as good as TRRS. TRRS is their masterpiece. I'd say maybe there's like a close second.
Yeah. It's the one thing about me is like, I really don't know where I would rank it. It is obviously during their golden years, Golden years. Golden years.
But.
Like, I don't know, man. It's like, obviously, we all know that Carnival 9 was like one of their biggest hits, obviously, and that was how this album was able to get some airplay, I can't help but notice that for whatever reason, their second track up, actually, I'll just wait and get into that when we get to it, so. But in the meantime, let's get into the information here. Brain Salad Surgery was released on December 7th of 1973. It was recorded from June to December of 73, released by Advision Studios, or it was recorded at Advision Studios and Olympic Studios, both in London. The genre, of course, is your stuff. It was I believe this was the first Emerson, Lake and Palmer album that was released under their record label, Manticore Records. And of course, the producer was our boy Greg Lake. Now, there is a little bit of a backstory I want to get into about Manticore, actually. So, after the release of their third album, Trilogy, in June of 72, which I do consider like some of their best work. I mean, dude, their song From the Beginning, I fucking love that song. The group toured across Europe and the US, playing in sold-out venues. But however, by the beginning of 73, ELP had become commercially successful in both the UK and the US. But however, the group became really dissatisfied with Atlantic Records, who they were releasing their music with, for lack of involvement or whatever. So around January of 73, all 3 of them, along with their manager Stuart Young, decided to form their own record company together. They bought an abandoned ABC cinema in Fulham, West London, and converted it into a rehearsal room and company headquarters, which would later be named Manticore Records. Now, I'm sure you knew this, but they named it after the final boss in TRRS. Remember, Manticore, if you guys remember from our album review on TRRS, and I had so much fun doing that album. Manticore was the only one who kicked TRRS's ass. So I guess for whatever reason, Manticore, I think, really stuck to them or whatever kind of thing. So they called it Manticore. As far as I know, Manticore Records is still around today, actually. Let me see who they have here. Let me pull up the info. I completely forgotten that. Share screen. Here we go.
Hopefully don't accidentally run into any porn this time.
No shit. We don't need any more of that, so... But yeah, this here is it, dude. And there's their label right there. Oh, nice. I can't even zoom in on that. God damn it. But yeah, this is it. What the fuck are you doing to me? All right, but yeah, this is it right here. Founded in 1973, and it's still active. It's still going to this day. I actually do want to... I am a little curious, though. I want to look at this quick. Come on, let me look at the tab. God damn it. Assuming if my stuff... Oh, the site can't be reached. God damn it.
Scroll down and it has a list of artists.
Yep. Banco del Mutuo Soccorso, Italian prog rock band, also known as Banco. Keith Christmas, Keith Emerson, ELP. John Greaves, he's who is a member of Henry Cow, Hanson, and British rock band, not the U.S. pop trio. Greg Lake, Little Richard, Premiata Forneria Marconi, Pete Sinfield, who's from, or wait, is he related to, oh yeah, he was the co-founder and lyricist for King Crimson. And so, yeah, apparently one of Greg Lake's former bandmates is also on there, and then Stray Dog. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, let me see here. Yep, here's all the information that's right here that we already read. Let me just scroll down a little bit, if I may. Let's talk about the artwork and the packaging. Since cover art for the impending album was required, Manticore manager Peter Zumsteg introduced Emerson to a popular artist named Hans Rudy Geiger. Is that how it's pronounced?
I think so.
Okay. Who was living in Zurich. In April 73, as part of the European tour, the group played a 2-day concert there. After the concert, Emerson with Zumsteg visited the artist at his home. And then the album title for the album was Medius's Expression Whip Some Skull on You, which is translated as Fellatio. Coincidentally, under
Fellatio.
What?
Fellatio.
Oh, fellatio. I don't know why the hell I couldn't even say that. Under the impact of the music, including ELP, Geiger had just created a human skull triptych entitled Work 216 Landscape. What's that Roman noodle there? X1X?
I believe that's 19.
I don't even. I can never figure out the Roman
21.
fucking numbers.
I can't remember how.
Yeah, I can't either. When he revealed the triptych to his guests, Emerson immediately felt it was completely appropriate for the album cover art. So yeah, I think this is where they got their influence from, was right here. This artwork right here.
Here, X out of that for a second. I want to actually look up the Work 216.
Yeah, go right ahead. Oh, and here's even a quote that Keith Emerson said was, "It was dark and very foreboding, and for me, it represented ELP's music." At least for Geiger's work right here, so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the cover art for it, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, definitely. Subsequently, the album title was changed to, it was changed to Brain Salad Surgery, which has the same meaning as Whip Some Skull on Ya. I don't even know how the hell that even has that meaning. Do you know?
Nope.
Fuck, man, I don't know either. All right, so here's the whole gist of it. The album ended up receiving 4.5 out of 5 stars. Ours by AllMusic. Kreisgau's Record Guide gave it a C-. Classic Rock Revisited gave it an A+. The Daily Vault gave it A-. Music Hound Rock gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. The Rolling Stone Record Guide gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So you gotta admit, that is pretty good ratings right there, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Except for the fucking Music Hound Rock and however the fuck that's pronounced.
Yeah.
Kreisgau's record guide.
I always just said it like Kreisgau, but I could be wrong on it, so.
Maybe it's Kreisgau. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, who knows? All right, so upon its initial release, the album was met with remarkably polarized critical reception. Gordon Fletcher of Rolling Stone considered that although Emerson, Lake, and Palmer managed to vanquish insufficient intensity and lack of worthy material of their previous records and live performances, these flaws overwhelmed all the group's positives in the studio, resulting in things like Brain Salad Surgery, which was deemed as a sadly uneven album from a group with technical gifts equal to that of many British trio. Well, that is true. Greg Lake is a hell of a vocalist. I've already listened to fucking In the Court of the Crimson King and In the Wake of Poseidon by King Crimson, the only two albums he was on. Keith Emerson, obviously one of the best keyboardists out there, although I still have not listened to any of his work from The Nice. And then Carl Palmer, he's obviously one of the greatest drummers in prog rock, and I have not even listened to any work from his time in Atomic Rooster, you know? All right, let's see here. In particular, he counted the lyrics of Still You Turn Me On to be somewhat overblown and dismissed. Benny the Bouncer as a needless, nonsensical whimsy. Don't even fucking start with that song, because I got a whole lot to say about that fucking song.
I love that song.
Save it for the review. I don't want to get into it right now. Writing for the Village Voice, Robert Christgau, I'll just say it as that, who had never been favorable towards ELP. Fuck you, Robert. Fuck you. He submitted a review which consisted entirely of rhetorical questions and assigned the album a very low C- rating. On the other side, Pete Erskine of Sounds was positive about the record, calling it the group's most uncluttered and melodic album to date, and certainly their rockiest. Hey, good job, Pete. Real good job. In the Pittsburgh Press, critic Pete Bishop praised the unmatched keyboard virtuosity, thank you, of Keith Emerson, and called the album a feast of sounds and imagination. Dude, imagine if the Alan Parsons Project had an album that was literally called that. Edgar Allan Poe Part 2, a feast of sounds and imagination. Before its release in the United States in December of 1973, Brain Salad Surgery was reviewed by Billboard and described as a complex, exciting sonic experience which touches on several bases: heavy rock, flowing jazz, and some zesty pop material. Retrospective response has been predominantly favorable. AllMusic contributor Bruce Eder cited the record as Emerson, Lake and Palmer's most successful and well-realized album, and their most ambitious as a group, as well as their loudest. He summarized that it represents a high point that the trio would never again achieve or even aspire to. Paul Stump, in his 1997 History of Progressive Rock, we should actually find that book.
Yeah.
We should look that up. Characterized the album as frustratingly uneven, but highlighted the demonic version of Toccata, or however it's pronounced, and the group instrumental workout in the third part of Carnival 9 as among the band's finest moments. While reviewing the box set A Time and a Place for the online All About Jazz magazine, John Kellman mentioned Brain Salad Surgery as a crowning masterpiece and the group's undeniable high-water mark. I still believe it's TRRS personally, but it's
I agree with
there.
you 100%.
Yeah. The album was...
Maybe their second best.
Oh, yeah. The album was included in the musical reference book 1,000 Recordings to Hear Before You Die, where it was called the most fully realized and still decidedly brazen ELP statement. In 2005, Q Classic and Mojo magazines placed Brain Salad Surgery at number 5 on their 40 Cosmic Rock albums. What the fuck is that genre?
Mm-hmm.
Which was published in the special edition Pink Floyd and the Story of Progress. Of course they're gonna have Pink Floyd's name in that. What about King Crimson and the History of Prog Rock?
I know the only reason I can think of why they had Pink Floyd there is it's just generally like the most mainstream progressive group out there.
Yeah. Well, that, and when you look at
like everyone knows fucking everyone knows Pink Floyd. Everyone knows Pink Floyd. Not a lot of people know about like King Crimson, ELP, you know.
Yeah. Well, ELP has had some classic rock play on the radio. Yes, and Genesis, everyone knows who they are, but the difference is that Genesis, got way more airplay these days, mainly because it was during the Phil Collins led era after Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. But yes, they were already established because of Fragile, you know.
Mm-hmm.
In 2015, it was ranked the 12th greatest progressive rock album of all time by Rolling Stone, whose reviewer, Will Hermes, characterized the record as prescient, or what is that word?
I think it's prescient.
Prescient and pretty damn rocking. Would you agree with that assessment right there?
There's the 12th greatest progressive rock album of all time.
Yeah, for Rolling Stone's list.
I don't know if top 12, but I'd say it's still pretty up there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, at least for me, it would probably be at least like 15 or 16, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with
Because
that.
the only reason that the only reason Brain Salad Surgery, even why everyone even knows about that album, is mainly because of Carnival 9. So I don't know.
So, before we get any further, here's something interesting about Brain Salad Surgery.
Yeah, go
The
ahead.
original cut of the album does not have the song Brain Salad Surgery on it. If you want to listen to the song Brain Salad Surgery, you got to listen to the extended cut.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could not even find that song, dude.
Really?
Yeah, so what were your thoughts about that song since we're talking about it right now?
Uh, let's see. It was a pretty good song. Wasn't the greatest on the album, but it was overall a good song. One of the best ones on the album, honestly, if I'm honest. Maybe like
Yeah.
fourth or fifth best on there.
Well, if that ends up being the case, why did they leave it off the album?
I have no idea.
Huh. All right, let's get back into this quick. All right, so weekly charts, the album did pretty good. Here is all the information right here. I am going to include all this in the description below once again. The album did pretty good at number 10 on the Canada Top Albums chart. It did really well at number 2 on the UK Albums chart and at number 11 on the US Billboard 200. At the end of the year, it was at 74 on the Canada Top Albums chart and number 42 on the German Albums chart. It is certified gold in the UK with 100,000 sales, and in the US, it's rated or certified platinum with over 1 million copies. So that's pretty good right there. All right, so before we get into the songs, I gotta pee quick, dude. I'll be right back. Just keep them distracted and just say whatever.
So let me grab them quick. All right, I've been working hard on 2 new albums lately. I'm not going to say what they're about, but I've also been giving myself a daily schedule where I do like an hour of games and TV, hour of composing, 1 hour of composing and TV, I mean, an hour of reading music theory textbooks, and an hour of just composition, and an hour of reading fiction. So I've been like digging into these fucking music theory textbooks I got sick sitting around
Oh, yeah?
and finding inspiration in there. Like, this is one of my favorite ones, 20th Century Harmony by Vincent Perschetti.
Oh, okay.
I'm finding a lot of inspiration in there. And after I'm done reading that one, I'm going to read this one is chord progressions for songwriters. So I'm going to learn how to write better chord progressions.
Okay.
And after that, I have this one that's very daunting. It's by Ludmila Layla. It's called Contemporary
Okay.
Harmony, Romanticism Through the 12-Tone Row.
That's awesome,
And
man.
yeah, and then I have these sitting around. These I these are what I read to learn music theory. These books.
Are all those like from your college?
I got these three in college, but these two were given to me by my high school choir director.
Oh, okay.
This one's just Essentials of Music Theory. This one's based on jazz theory.
And obviously, they had to do something with jazz because it is one of the oldest genres out there.
Yeah, and learning jazz theory, you learn how to. It's very different than just classical theory. It gives you like new types of chords progressions and just other interesting things.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of standard like classical music won't use seventh chords, they won't use ninths in their chords. Then you get to fucking jazz theory and you start throwing in like ninths, 15th, 15ths, 13ths, 11ths.
Yeah, I totally get you, man.
Shit like that.
I totally get you.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're watching X-Files right now, so. So let's get into the songs here. The first one we are going to talk about is Jerusalem.
This is my least favorite song on the album was Jerusalem.
I don't know what it is about it. I could not get into it, but I think it was beautiful-ish. Is that even a proper term to describe it?
Beautiful-ish.
I love the keyboards that Keith Emerson did. I really did like the keyboards, but I wasn't really a fan of this song. I think from what I saw about this song, it was actually based off of like a section that was from a story or whatever, if I remember correctly. What does Genius.com say about this song?
Let me check.
Because I know that there was something that they talked about on here, which was I'm gonna have to fix this quick.
All
My
right.
shit's lagging quick. Yeah, just continue.
All right. It says here, Jerusalem is a cover of a traditional English hymn, given a rock arrangement by ELP. The lyrics come from a poem, an early 19th century poem by William Blake, a renowned English romantic poet. The poem was originally set to music by Hubert Parry in the early 20th century. Parry's hymn has since become overwhelmingly popular in England and now enjoys status as an unofficial national anthem of England, though England has no official anthem, using it instead the British anthem God Save the Queen. It was upon this musical adaptation that Emerson, Lake and Palmer based their musical arrangement.
Yeah. You'd figure like, I don't know why, but you'd figure that this song would be like an anthem for Israel or whatever, because after all, it is Jerusalem.
Yeah,
one of the most sacred holy cities in the world, or at least from what I see anyway. Aside from Vatican City, Jerusalem, obviously, sacred ground there,
Yeah, it says also Emerson, Lake and Palmer released Jerusalem as a single in 1973, but the conservative establishments at the time forbade it from radio play, disapproving of arranging a hymn in such a culturally important one into a rock song.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I honestly did not even see that with the lyrics, to be honest with you. I didn't see anything that looked offensive or whatever at all in this,
I didn't either.
I was like, like they have the town, it's called Jerusalem, which is the capital of Israel, But then when you see Walk Upon England's Mountains Green, like, it's like, bro, you're like taking two different parts from the world and you're putting them together, I don't know, man. I don't even know what to make of this. Like, it's even the some of the wording on here makes sense, but I don't know. It just doesn't make complete sense to me. I mean, Greg, what are you doing? What are you doing to us here? All right, should I start this? I might as well start this right here. All right. And did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountains green? And was the holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pastures seen? Okay, I'm actually going to read this and then I'm going to point out some things that I am questioning right here. And did the countenance divine shine forth upon our clouded hills, and was Jerusalem builded here among these dark satanic mills? Bring me my bow of burning gold, bring me my arrows of desire, bring me my spear, O clouds unfold, bring me my chariot of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem in England's green and pleasant land. Like, this is already confusing right here. Like, the Holy Lamb of God, obviously we all know what that means right there. But yep. There are no biblical stories that started in England. They all started right, it wasn't called Israel at the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Israel wasn't established until 1946, 47 or whatever, right? So
there are still references to Israel in the Old Testament.
Yeah. I mean, it almost feels like it's kind of a rewriting of a world history kind of thing right here. Because we already know where Jerusalem was at. It was not in England. It was right where it is. And the other thing that I do want to point out is that in England, there were no Jewish people there. England is not a Jewish state. It's not.
No, it's not. I mean, there are Jews there, but it's not a Jewish state.
Exactly. Yeah. Need I need to go on more? Because I'll stop right now if I need to. All I could say is that at least they didn't make a mention of a certain song from Frank Zappa that will be the subject of a future album review.
Hey there, people, I'm Bobby Brown.
No, not that song. Not that song. All right, enough of this shit. Let's continue on. The next song that we got is an instrumental called Toccata, is it called? Toccata?
I think it's pronounced Toccata.
Okay. From what I saw, it was based off of a piano concerto that happened about a few years prior. Let me share that screen because I have it right here, actually. Yeah, here's all the information right here, but can you please read off of Genius what it does say for like the short abbreviated version?
Yeah. It says a toccata is a classical piece intended to show off the skill and touch of a pianist. In this case, Emerson has adapted a 1961 classical piece called Toccata Concertata by the Argentine composer Alberto Ginastera.
Ginastera, I think is how it's pronounced, yeah.
Okay. All right. The electronic drum sound made during the middle section of the track was achieved by placing a microphone in each of the drums to trigger a small synthesizer each time the drum was struck.
Yeah, that it says right here that the concerto premiered on April 22nd, 1961. Okay.
Oh.
And it was in Washington, D.C. The conductor in question was Howard Mitchell, and the performers were the National Symphony Orchestra and Yao Carlos Martins, I think is how it's pronounced. Oh, and it looks like
I don't know how the fuck to pronounce that.
Yeah, it looks like he's still alive today, man. So he's still kicking it. Let's see, June 25th, 1940. So holy shit, he's 86 today, or 86 right now. Holy shit, man. But yeah, what were your thoughts about that? Or hang on,
the song?
Yeah. Or let me quickly read this here, quick if I may. So Toccata was released as a single on November 19th of 1973, recorded in 73. It says the genres are progressive rock and hard rock. It was released by Manticore Records. The composers were Alberto Ginastera arranged by Keith Emerson on percussion, and the movement or percussion movement was Carl Palmer, and of course Greg Lake was the producer. An arrangement of for Rock Band of the fourth movement titled Toccata, which is from the concerto, appears on the album Brain Salad Surgery. Yep. The electronic drum sound, and all that. Rolling Stone magazine called their arrangement brash and playful. Paul Stump in The History of Progressive Rock called it as a... How the fuck do you pronounce that?
Cacophonous.
Cacophonous? Okay.
Cacophonous.
Piece... as cacophonous a piece of rock music as existed at the time, particularly citing its effectively deranged use of electronics. Okay, so yeah, it was an instrumental. I'll say this, for some reason, or actually, I'll let you go first, man. Go right ahead.
With the lyrics?
No, there's no lyrics. It's an instrumental. But what were your thoughts about it?
You're right. Honestly, I thought it was a pretty good song. It's not one of my favorites on the album, but I did enjoy the song.
I don't know what it was, but for some reason, the overall harrowing sound kind of reminded me of Mars the Bringer of War.
I could see that.
So whether Greg Lake and Keith Emerson were influenced a bit by Toccata to have Mars the Bringer of War from Emerson, Lake, and Powell, I don't know. But yeah, it did have like the authentic sound that you hear on some of the parts from TRRS and whatnot, right? And then you have the more haunting sound. The synthesizer I thought was pretty decent. Or I can't remember, was Keith Emerson using synthesizers at that time?
Pretty sure he was.
I do actually want to look at that quick. Just give me a moment. Moog synthesizers. Yep, I was right. They started using synthesizers at this time, but then, of course, why wouldn't they? I mean, synthesizers were one of the really, really big instruments in prog rock at the time. But it turns out it wasn't just prog rock that was doing it. We saw The Who with Who's Next, and they actually used a synthesizer. Or, yeah, I believe that's what it was, on the song Baba O'Reilly. And remember, The Who, they are not a progressive rock band. They are considered more as a hard rock band. Or not really a hard rock band, but you all know what I'm talking about. I would consider it as like arena rock before arena rock even became what it became in the 80s. But yeah, it sounded pretty hauntingly. But then, and then, around the 5:30 mark or whatever, where there's the auto-tuning or whatever it was, it looked like there was no signal coming in, but if we're trying to readjust the TV antenna.
Yeah.
I kind of liked that. And then Carl Palmer just going at it on the drums and whatnot like this. Yeah, I kind of like that. But all right, let's go on to the next song, which is Still You Turn Me On. And Aegis, you do not turn me on. I am not like that, but I do support them. But yeah, the next song is called Still You Turn Me On. And who exactly were you hoping would turn you on, Mr. Lake? This song honestly kind of did feel a little weak to me.
I thought it was a pretty good song.
Yeah. I can't remember. Let me give the song one more listen quick. I don't know.
When does that? Wow, 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 wow,
yeah.
Wow, wow, wow.
I don't know what it was with this song, but for whatever reason, it reminded me of, I think it was called Lower Your Arms or whatever by Emerson, Lake, and Paul for the depressing sound or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. That's just me talking, all right? It's just kind of what it reminded me of. I don't know what it was. Like around the 130 mark where Greg Lake is singing um want to be a player, want to be a stringer, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It sounded medievalish like. You know? Heck, I guess that's the great thing about progressive rock is you could literally do anything, and that's what they did. But yeah, I think aside... Actually, wait. Yeah, it's probably somewhere in the lower part to half of the album for me, honestly, so... Is there anything on Genius about this song here? Because I think there was.
Right. One of the most famous songs is written by the band Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It is primarily performed by Greg Lake on acoustic guitar, with Keith Emerson occasionally joining in on the keyboards, in a complete absence of Carl Palmer.
Yeah.
The only acoustic-focused song on the album, Brain Salad Surgery. It was considered but did not end up as a single release.
Just imagine if it was an acoustic, just like from the beginning. I don't know. That's just me talking. All right. This song does have a Wikipedia page, so I'm going to go ahead and turn over this. Okay, so. Oh, it was actually the only song on the album that lead singer and guitarist Greg Lake wrote entirely by himself.
Yep.
I'm wondering, I wonder if Greg Lake was influenced in any kind of way about this song. Maybe from a experience that he had while on the road with King Crimson, maybe what he was seeing during ELP's tours or whatever, I don't know. So the song was released as a single on December 7th of 1973. It was recorded in 73. The genres were progressive rock and folk rock. Okay. Okay, Greg Lake, I see you. Label. It was released by Manticore Records, and Greg Lake was the songwriter and producer of it. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, it was pretty much considered as a romantic ballad. You know what those are. Like it's kind of like a love ballad before love ballads became even big in the 80s. Rolling Stone magazine included the song in their 10 essential ELP songs, and that it was Lake's songcraft and Emerson's atmosphere that makes Still You Turn Me On so timeless. Then how come it's not getting airplay? I have not one time ever heard it being played on classic rock radio. So why, if it's one of their biggest songs and the fact that ELP does get airplay, how come it's not getting airplay? Even when obsessed with the sounds of the future, ELP knew a good tune was always at the heart of their art. Aaron Gittleman? I think it's Gittleman. I'll say Gittleman. Aaron Gittleman of Live for Live Music said that Still You Turn Me On showcases Lake's mastery as a singer-songwriter. He also called the song very good. Well, I mean, mastery as singer-songwriter, I mean, dude, it's Greg Lake. Tom Muscarella of Rock and Roll Remnants described the song as a lovely ballad and also said that Still You Turn Me On is in the same style as Lucky Man. No, it's not. No, it is not. I've listened to Lucky Man, and Still You Turn Me On is nowhere in that league. Not a single bit. Classic Rock said that the song had poetic and beautiful with layered riffs and a nice counterbalance of melody and songcraft to the furious instrumental which precedes it. This short but poignant song contains profound yet romantic lyrics which earned it a fair share of radio play. Then how come my local radio station ain't playing it? J105, why aren't you guys playing this? Why? There were some other appearances that happened. Live versions of the song can be found on the albums. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never. Oh my god, that is such a great title right there. Oh, and it's actually their live album. Dude, I think we should do something like that for a concept album. We'll just call it the show that never ends. And we would add like well, obviously, because show that never ends, and I'm thinking of like stage play and all that. A little bit of operatic stuff, orchestration like stuff, Not way to the full extent, just like in the same style that like Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Pink Floyd do. It was also included at Live at the Royal Albert Hall, King Biscuit Flower Hour. The fuck kind of a name is that? King Biscuit Flower Hour. Greatest Hits Live by ELP. And also made 8 other appearances on the 4-volume series, including the original bootleg series from the Manticore Vaults. And it also appeared on the Greatest Hits album, The Best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Okay, so that's something. But yeah, that's pretty much it right there. If I remember correctly, I think it's your turn, right, for the lyrics?
Yep.
All right, go right ahead.
Do you want to be an angel? Do you want to be a star? Do you want to play some magic on my guitar? Do you want to be a poet? Do you want to be my string? You could be anything. Do you want to be the lover of another, undercover? You could even be the man on the moon. Do you want to be the player? Do you want to be the string? Let me tell you something, it just don't mean a thing. You see, it really doesn't matter when you're buried in disguise, with the dark glasses on your eyes. Though you're fresh as crystallized, still you turn me on. Still you turn me on. You turn me on. Do you want to be the pillow where I lay my head? Do you want to be the feathers lying in my bed? Do you want to be the cover of a magazine? Create a scene. Every day a little sadder, a little madder. Someone get me a ladder. Do you want to be the singer? Do you want to be the song? Let me tell you something, you just couldn't be more wrong. You see, I really have to tell you that it all gets so intense from my experience that it doesn't seem to make any sense. Still, you turn me on. You turn me on. You turn me on. That's it.
You don't turn me on.
I take that as an insult.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the final 4 songs, or I would say final song, kind of. But before we get into probably the best part of this album, we are going to take a quick commercial break. Smoke them if you got them. Drink them if you got them. Masturbate if you have to. I don't fucking care. What you do is none of my business. So don't go anywhere. We shall be right back.
Shit. Let's have a drink last night. Yeah, you better run to. The hell? Traveling Jack from Clock Out Moon. I don't drink this shit. I drink Voodoo Rangers. What the fuck?
Rise and shine, Aegis!
How the fuck did you get in my apartment?
You left the door open.
Huh. Dude, seriously? Tapeworm Tussle?
Come on, man, you love this song and you know it. It has that same upbeat personality like my all-time favorite song, Don't Bring Me Down by the Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah, I know that. If I hear it one more goddamn time, I'm going to bash my brains in.
What's that, Aegis? I can't hear you, man. Are you an independent musician or band that's looking to be interviewed and to promote your music? If so, contact me via social media or email today. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. There behind the glass stands a real blade of grass. Be careful as you pass. Move along. Come inside, the show's about to start. Guaranteed to blow your head apart. Rest assured, you'll get your money's worth. The greatest show in heaven, hell, or earth. You gotta see the show.
You gotta see the show.
It's a dynamo. You gotta see the show.
You gotta see the show.
It's rock and roll. And that's what the Roger Radio show is. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Roger Radio here, and I'm here with my little chicken nugget. Today's challenge is, can your cat twerk? Let's find out.
She's like, what the fuck are you doing with me?
Wait, what are you saying? Talking to the mic.
No.
Oh my god. I think she wants me to let her go. She's a little bitch, but I love her. She just looks at me as insurance, dude. I mean, look at that. She thinks I'm insurance. Like, look at the webcam. Hey, look at the webcam.
Aw.
Yeah. I'll be right back quick. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the legit album review on Emerson, Lake and Palmer's album, Brain Salad Surgery. Now, before we get started, I completely forgot there was one more song that we needed to cover, which we are going to get into right now. And that song is called Benny the Bouncer. And, dude, what the fuck did I listen to?
Yeah, I fucking love this song, dude.
I don't care if you like it. I was like, It had the same stupid ass mindset that Are You Ready Eddie had.
Like, I enjoyed the lyrics. I thought it was just a goofy little song, and I liked the way it sounded.
Everything about it was stupid. It felt like a song if I'm in a bar fight, but I end up losing the bar fight in the most humiliating way I know how.
Can I do the lyrics on this one?
Yeah, you go ahead, dude. I don't have much else to say about it, so you go right ahead. I think it was your turn anyway, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Or was it?
I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, whatever. Just go ahead and read it.
Yeah, it says here, this song, co-written by Greg Lake and Peter Sinfield, who worked together in the band King Crimson, has an incredibly rare vocal performance by Carl Palmer and a comedic lyrical style. It's a sharp contrast to the more serious tone of the rest of the album, especially the epic Carnival 9, which comes directly after the song. Here's how it goes. Benny was the bouncer at the Palais de Danse. He'd flash your granny's face up given half a chance. He'd sell you that back to pieces, all for less than half a quid. He thought he was the meanest until he met with Savage Sid. Now, Sidney was a greaser with some nasty roots. He poured a pint of Guinness over Benny's boots. Benny looked at Sidney. Sidney stared right back in his eye. Sidney chose a switchblade and Benny got a cold meat pie. Oh, what a terrible sight. Much to the people's delight. One hell of a fight. Sidney grabbed an hatchet and buried it in Benny's head. The people gasped as he bled. the end of its head, while they dragged him out from while they dragged him out from the wreckage of the Palaean bits. They tried to stick together all the bits that would fit, but some of him was missing and part of him arrived too late. So now he works for Jesus as the bouncer at St. Peter's Gate.
Wait, did it actually say that? St. Peter? Oh, gate. Okay, I thought you said gay for a moment. Oh, and I accidentally said it. My apologies, everyone. I'm apologize. Yeah, this is definitely the stupidest song on here, but it's not really the worst.
It's a stupid song, but I love it.
We should just do a concept album that it features songs that we think are really stupid, and we'll call it Music for Dummies.
No, once I'm rich and famous, I have a band together. There's a thing I want to do. I want to get the band together and write a pop album in like 24 hours.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like to make fun of pop music. We're just gonna write a fucking pop album in an hour, like in 24 hours. I mean,
hey, do you know what? One song should be called "Life of a Showboy,"
and
that would be a jab to Taylor Swift right there. Like I said, dude, I don't even know what else to say about this song. Why would you fucking put it on an album like a Brain Salad Surgery? Like I could see if they did that with Works, whether it be part 1 or part 2, you know. Some reason I could see the song being more on Works, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know why. That's just me talking, so. Alrighty, so we're going to continue on, and just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally made it. Probably, I would consider the holy grail of Emerson, Lake, and Palmer music, and it's all Carnival 9. Now, for whatever reason, instead of doing what TRRS did and releasing all of those, that 20-minute suite as one song, they broke them off into 4 different parts. So we're going to break down all 4 of them parts separately. So that's what we're going to do.
Here on Genius, it doesn't have it sorted into sections. On Genius, it just has Carnival 9, the one song.
Yeah, I will say this. Like, I have the Wikipedia page, and Wikipedia does break them all down. So if I need to, I could read them off if I need to. Because I do want to read all the different suites in the 3 different sections, just to let you know, dude. So would you have any problem with that?
Sorry, I was reading about what it has on Genius. What did you say?
Oh, I was going to say, on Wikipedia, they have them broken off into the 3 different impressions on Wikipedia, yeah. So it's a lot more easier. So for whatever, like the first impression, whatever it says on Wikipedia, we'll read that part and then go from there. Would you have any problem if I did that? And then you could do fine. All the lyrics from here or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, that works for me.
All right. Otherwise, I'll probably read some of the lyrics too, so I'll probably... I don't know. Do you want to read part 1 or do you want to read... Actually, you know, I'll read part 1 and you take part 2. Okay. For the first impression. Because I know the third impression has lyrics on it, and then I'll close off with that one. So I'll read the lyrics for part 1, but let me pull up the Wikipedia page. Yeah, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, alongside with TRRS, I do consider Carnival 9 as some of their best work, in my opinion. You know? But TRRS will still have a place for me right here in my left man boob.
Anus?
No, not my penis. I was talking about my man boob.
I didn't see your penis. I said your anus.
Fuck you. All right, so Carnival 9, it wasn't released as one impression. It was released as a whole thing. Released on December 7th of 1973. Recorded in 73. The genre is progressive rock. And look at this, dude. Nearly a half hour. Dude, a whole half hour.
That's prog for you, dude.
Right? I don't know. Was there any others? What do you think was the longest song for progressive rock? Like, look up the longest progressive rock song right now. I actually want to know if this is Carnival 9 or if it's anything else.
First, I have a question. When you were at Rapids Rock Fest, did Iron Butterfly play Inagata Devita?
Yep,
All
they
right,
did.
sweet.
And you know what? I got a picture with their frontman and their guitarist. You can take a look at my Instagram, but yeah, I told the lead singer from Iron Butterfly, he's I think kind of around the same age as me, maybe 10 years older. You know, because a lot of the original members are long gone, but there's a lot of some old members that have been there for a long time to where they played it. And I did tell him about the podcast, and he said, "Hey, I'll take a look at it, man. I wish you the best of luck. Both
All
of
right.
us the best of luck, you know." So you gotta admit, we're making it, man. We're gonna make it. Maybe we might have to get him on here someday.
All right. On Reddit, this guy says Amarok by Mike Oldfield. Super fast paced, multi layered, hour long instrumental epic. First 5 minutes are a bit challenging, but it's a masterpiece. Tons of motifs, instruments, and styles.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, here's the one thing is that for whatever reason, man, like was it actually recorded in the studio or was it just a live thing?
I don't know.
You know what? We're gonna find that out in a minute. Give me a second. Let me get back to the screen quick. Because I actually am very curious, you know. All right, I'm going to look it up quick, as a matter of fact, see if my shit will load. What is the longest progressive rock song ever recorded? Let's see what my shit says here. Creating an answer for you using AI. Oh my god! Thick as a Brick by Jethro Tull, dude. One of their contemporaries. Jethro Tull, who I told you about. Thick as a Brick is literally 43 minutes and 50 fucking seconds. All right, let me look them up quick. Just give me a minute, folks. I actually am really, really interested in this. All right. And you and Aegis, you have never listened to Jethro Tull, right?
I have not.
Like I said, they were kind of one of the original pioneers. They were the ones that add, you know, the folkish like sound to it. So maybe your guys from the Decemberists might have been influenced by Jethro Tull.
I'd have to listen to them and see how it sounds.
Yep. 43 minutes and 46 fucking seconds. Yeah. And then, of course, they're broken up into suites. And, of course, because it's two sides, that they had to obviously do an intermission of sorts. But, yeah, Thick as a Brick, they say is supposed to be considered among Jethro Tull's greatest work. And if I remember correctly, I think it was at one point considered among the greatest albums ever. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yep, it's listed at number 7 on the 50 greatest prog rock albums of all time. And Rush's very own Geddy Lee said that Thick as a Brick is one of his favorite albums. So there you go. There you go, people. All right. So let's get back into this here quick. All right. It was released by Manticore Records. Keith Emerson composed the whole thing. Good for you, Keith. Much love to you, man. The lyricists were Greg Lake and Peter Sinfield, and the producer was Greg Lake, of course. So, like I said, I want to. This here describes all 3 parts. We're going to do all 3 parts simultaneously. Because the first impression is in 2 parts, I will not repeat the first part. But otherwise, actually, I will read it because they do describe them into different parts. So, all right. The phrase Karn evil is sound alike with the word carnival. The story of Karn Evil 9 is told in 3 parts, with the second part being an instrumental interlude. I just want to see what else they say about it before I get into the info. For the reception, in his history of progressive rock, Paul Stampa bemoaned that Karn Evil 9 spends most of its length ping-ponging frustratingly between the inspired and the intolerable. Dude.
Oof.
Dude, write that down. Write that down. That could be a good lyric to use. Ping-ponging frustratingly between the inspired and the intolerable. That's a really good lyric right there. And it goes on to say that citing the subdued yet menacing Hammond organ introduction and the group workout during the third impression, full of vigorous and fertile riff development and fierce diamond hard textures as examples of the former and the bipartite structure of the first impression. The overindulgence of Emerson's solo and the treat the science fiction theatrics of the third impression as examples of the latter. In 2005, Music Week listed the song on their top 10 prog tracks. Okay, there you go. That's something. Yeah, it doesn't have much about this song, honestly. So we'll just get back into it. What were your thoughts about the first part?
Of the first impression?
Yeah, for Karn Evil 9 First Impression Part 1. That's what we're going to start with. What did you think about it?
I think it was probably my second favorite of the impressions.
Yeah.
Well, it was First Impression Part 1. My favorite was First Impression Part 2. Honestly, second favorite would probably be Second Impression. And then it would be First Impression Part 1. Then the last place is Third Impression.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me to say, honestly, because I did kind of like the third impression. I think I would say First Impression Part 2, First Impression Part 1, Part 3, and then Part 2. Or
there's just one
third impression and second impression.
There's just one part in particular in Second Impression that I really like. It's like a minute in. It sounds really cool.
Yeah. You can tell in some of the lyrics on Part 1, it did feel like they were setting us up for Part 2. So I did like it. Even the I like that part. And then I don't know why with the chorus, I'll be there, I will be there. I liked that too. So
I liked it too.
All right, I'll start us off. Cold and misty morning, I heard a warning boom in the air about an age of power where no one had an hour to spare, where the seeds have withered, silent children shivered in the cold. Now their faces captured in the lenses of the jackals for gold. I'll be there, I will be there. Suffering in silence, they've all been betrayed. Dude, I love that part. They hurt them and they beat them in a terrible way. Praying for survival at the end of the day, there is no comparison for those who stay, yeah, I'll be there, I will be there. There must be someone who can set them free, to take their sorrow from this odyssey, to help the helpless and the refuge, to protect what's left of humanity. Can't you see? Can't you see? Can't you see? Yeah, I'll be there, I will be there. To heal their sorrow, to beg and borrow, fight tomorrow, step inside, hello. We've a most amazing show. We'll enjoy it all, we know. Step inside, step inside. We've got thrills and shocks, supersonic fighting cocks. Oh my. What the fuck is that lyric, dude?
You've never heard of cockfighting?
Well,
it's
yeah,
not like penises. It's like fucking roosters and shit.
Well, I know that, but I don't know why I thought it was the other one. The other way around. Leave your hammers at the box. Come inside, come inside. Roll up, roll up, roll up. See the show. Left behind the bars, a rows of bishops' head in jars, and a bomb inside a car. Spectacular, spectacular. If you follow me, there is a specialty, some tears for you to see. Misery, misery. Roll up, roll up. Roll up! See the show! Next upon the bill in our house of vaudeville, we've a stripper in the till. What a thrill! What a thrill! That's me right there. And not content with that, with our hands up behind our backs, we pull Jesus from a hat. Get into that. Roll up, roll up, roll up. See the show. I still have to read the information about what this part meant. Let me quickly pull that up. I completely spaced on it, but now I remember. So, okay, so first impression part 1 begins with a tale of a bleak world, although time frame is not specified. Cold and misty morning, I heard a warning born in the air, and where humanity is either being destroyed or has fallen into decay and helplessness. Dude, that kind of almost sounds a bit like a dystopian like future right there.
Yeah.
And it also kind of reminds me of fucking Sunya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, folks, the Indigo Child's not real. Humanity is going to be doomed. We are all royally fucked. Anyway, let's continue on. We are going to get to what is now the biggest part of the album, and it is Carnival 9 First Impression Part 2. Now, dude, it's Part 2! I mean, this is obviously one of their biggest parts right here is Part 2, obviously. This is the one part that gets constant radio play. I love the keyboards that Keith Emerson does here. Like, I think this is probably one of his best keyboard moments in ELP.
Yeah, ELP is one of the few rock groups that doesn't like accentuate like the emphasis on the guitar.
Yeah.
They mostly put the emphasis on like the keyboard synths.
No, like I kept saying, dude, when it came to Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, Keith Emerson, I believe, was the guy.
Yeah.
He definitely looked like someone who was a front man, to be honest. I don't know why. He just has that. He has that in him. But, dude, what can I say about this song, dude? It's obviously the biggest hit from this album, and I really love it.
I agree. It's
really
my favorite song on the album.
All right, let's see what it said about it on here quick. Okay, so First Impression Part 2 tells how the decadence of the old world is preserved through exhibits that are part of a futuristic carnival show, which exhibits depravities like 7 virgins and a mule. I don't think I even want to think about how much bestiality was committed from that part. Along with things that are rare in the future, such as real blade of grass. You know, I actually did not even know what the meaning of this part was, to be honest. I actually didn't.
Behind the glass is a real blade of grass.
Well, you know, like what part 2 talks about. I actually did not realize that.
Okay.
But all right, dude. That being said, you ended up with the biggest track, so the floor is all yours.
All right, welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. There behind the glass stands a real blade of grass. Be careful as you pass. Move along, move along. Come inside, the show's about to start. Guaranteed to blow your head apart. Rest assured, you'll get your money's worth. Greatest show in heaven, hell, or earth. You got to see the show, it's a dynamo. You got to see the show, it's rock and roll.
Hell yeah.
Right before your eyes, we'll pull laughter from the skies. And he laughs until he cries. Then he dies, then he dies.
Oof.
Come inside the show's about to start. Guaranteed to blow your head apart. You got to see the show, it's a dynamo. You got to see the show, it's rock and roll. Excuse me.
Oh, I do love the interlude that they did. Also, you know, with the banana. I really like that. You know.
Yeah. Soon the Gypsy Queen, in a glaze of Vaseline, will perform on guillotine. What a scene, what a scene. Next upon the stand, you please extend a hand to Alexander's ragtime band, Dixieland, Dixieland. Roll up, roll up, roll up, see the show. Performing on a stool, we've a sight to make you drool. 7 virgins and a mule. Keep it cool, keep it cool. We would like it to be known that the exhibits that were shown were exclusively our own, all our own, all our own. Come and see the show, come and see the show, come and see the show. And then it says, see the show, and that's it. Then we get to part 3, second impression.
Which is mostly an instrumental. Yeah, I did. It was okay, but this honestly was my least favorite part of the song, to be honest.
For me, my least favorite part was the third impression.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of because of my instrumental bias.
Yeah.
That's why. Let's see what this part's all about here. Let me pull it up. Unlike the rest of Carnival, the second impression's instrumentation is primarily piano, bass, and drums, with a solo by Emerson on the Minimoog set to imitate a steel pan. Part of the solo very briefly quotes the main melody from Sonny Rollins' St. Thomas. This impression changes from an upbeat, out-of-control tune to a slow interval, and then picks up the pace with a structure similar to that of a sonata. It is allegedly about computers scheming against the humans and the humans completely not suspecting this. Well, it's going to become a reality soon because of fucking AI.
Fuck AI.
As a music critic and a music podcaster, nothing offends me more than AI music. I literally posted on my social media with a picture that said, fuck AI music.
As a composer who puts days, fucking years of effort into making my music, I am offended by the existence of AI music.
Unfortunately, we're in the day and age, dude, and it's a bunch of bullshit if you ask me, bro. How many more years do you think it will be before AI fucking takes over the music industry?
I pray that never happens.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case. All right, so the whole thing was an instrumental. I wasn't really a fan of it, to be honest. I just wasn't.
I liked it.
But it's like I said, it's because of my instrumental bias. So. All
right, then we got part 4,
Carnival 9, third impression, and I got one thing I need to say about the ending, but I want to get into this whole song first. I love the synthesizer. It felt like the synthesizer was from Emerson, Lake and Powell before Emerson, Lake and Powell, but it was kind of a little calmer compared to the hard-hittingness of it. At least with this, it did have lyrics. All right. Now the last minute, dude, with the robotic voice. Was that the same cyborg that Joe fucked to death?
Cyborg. Give me that cyborg.
Dude, I mean, you compare this, and then you compare the robotic voice here from third impression, and you take Cyborg's robotic voice, dude. You cannot tell me that's the same robot. It sounds the same. Geez, so it turns out that Cyborg collabed with Emerson, Lake and Palmer before Joe fucked it to death, which resulted in Joe getting a bunch of butt sex in prison because the central scrutinizer sent him away. Oh, and then, of course, there was you, too, because of our Duel of Destiny also, so. I'm surprised you were even able to get the hell out of there when you did. Yeah, I swear, dude, I'm never gonna let that fucking video go, dude. That was like our masterpiece. Subscribe to the Intermission group if you actually want us to reunite over there. So, all right. I just gotta remember where the computer voice is because I actually do want to do that computer voice. Give me a moment to listen. Um. Okay, I found it. But before we get into that, let's get into what this part's about. The third impression continues the story begun in the first, describing a war between human and computers. Oh, dude, that's Terminator shit right there.
Yep.
They fucking predicted Terminator right here. Which could be interpreted in three different ways. One interpretation gives the victory to the humans, who reimpose their dominion over the computers. The second interpretation allows victory to the computers, claiming that the computers were successful in dominating the humans and let them live only for the sake of gloating. The third interpretation, consistent with Peter Sinfield's original interpretation, that what man had invented ironically takes him over. Has humans winning a war with the help of computers only to find the computers taken over in the moment of victory. I got something I want to say about that, but before I do, the three different interpretations. Hang on, I'm going to quickly stop sharing for a moment. I need a serious talk. They done fucking did the ending of Wayne's World before Wayne's World. Imagine that. We have multiple endings, but we decide, you know what? Forget adding one. Let's add all of them. And then we'll let the view...
They also did that in the movie Clue. You ever see the movie Clue?
Oh my god. Fucking Clue, dude.
I take that as a yes.
Fuck my life, dude. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You know what the funny thing is? When I watched The Dark Knight a while back, this is to be off topic a little bit. The Dark Knight obviously is among my top 5 favorites of all time.
It's one of the greatest movies ever made.
I thought right after the actual ending, I thought it was still going to continue for like another hour. And then we could actually see the Joker be brought to justice for real.
Do you like Spider-Man?
The Tobey Maguire versions only. Fuck the other versions.
So, there's this new show. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Spider Noir. It's like an old, like, washed up... It takes place in, like, the Prohibition era. It's like this old washed up Spider-Man who's given up being a superhero. Now he's just, like, a private detective. It's like this film noir thing. It's got 8 episodes. You can choose between, like, black and white or true hue full color. And want to know who plays the Spider?
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh my god.
Is actually really fucking good, dude.
Dude, oh my god, dude. So there was like obviously you know who Markiplier is, right?
Yeah, I know Markiplier. He made a movie recently. I still haven't watched it, but I really
Iron Lung, I still am kind of hesitant to watch it, but I heard that it was great, dude. I'm not much of a scary movie guy, but it was kind of like a quote unquote YouTube Red movie or something like that. He has the things that are called A Heist with Markiplier, A Day with Markiplier, and In Space with Markiplier.
Yep.
And you get to start with just the
Choose
normal
your own
video,
adventure,
and then you take the alternate endings. Dude, imagine if we did something like that, immersive. You'd be like, all right, you choose what path we should go, and bam. And we do that in every single movie theater, but we show the actual storyline once it's released on DVD or Blu-ray.
We could do that.
Dude, that would be the most immersive shit ever. And then we'll be like, whoever made the right choice at the movie theaters will each get $100. Or a free ticket to an Intermission group show.
Yeah, we could do that.
Think about it, man. But all right, let me get back to this quick. I did have one thing I wanted to say about this part here. Peter Sinfield's original interpretation of what man had invented ironically takes him over. Dude, that is actually true. If man had not invented what we are doing right now on this podcast, we would not have the Roger Radio Show. You get what I'm saying? You just,
Yeah.
like, just think about it. If we were in the 1800s, this stuff that we are doing right now would not exist. And yeah, it is so very true in a sense because machine has technically did take over what we are doing with our daily lives. We are relying so much more on computer technology. We are relying more on computers, and we are even relying more on cell phones. So it has happened. Machine has technically taken us over. Now, how long do you think it will be before AI completely replaces us? I don't want to think it, but you never know.
I think they call that the singularity. I think that's the word they use for it.
Yeah. That is my actual honest to God thought about it.
Yeah, the technological singularity is a hypothetical future point in time when artificial intelligence and self-improving technology become so advanced that human life and civilization are changed in ways that we cannot predict or control.
Yeah. And that's what scares the hell out of me. Even today, dude, I don't know how the hell I was able to adapt to some of this stuff, but I did. Heck, I guess you could say I think the Unabomber was kind of right in a sense.
Yeah.
With the technology. Not to condone what he did, but he was kind of right.
This just in, Roger supports serial killers.
No, I don't. All right. How about you take the lyrics on this, actually? I need to pee quick again, so just go ahead and read them.
All right. Third impression. Man alone, born of stone, will stamp out the dust of time. His hands strike the flame of his soul, ties a rope to a tree, and hangs the universe until the winds of laughter blows cold. Holy shit, those are some good fucking lyrics. Fear that rattles in men's ears and rears its hideous head, dread, death in the wind. Man of steel, pray and kneel with fever's blazing torch. Thrust into the face of the night, draws a blade of compassion kissed by countless kings, whose jeweled trumpet words blind his sight. Walls that no man thought could fall, the altars of the just, crushed, dust in the wind. No man yields who flies in my ship. Danger. Let the bridge computer speak. Stranger, load your program. I am yourself. No computer stands in my way. Only blood can cancel my pain. Guardians of a nuclear dawn, let the maps of war be drawn. Rejoice. Glory is ours. Our young men have not died in vain. Their graves need no flowers. The tapes have recorded their names. I am all there is, negative, primitive, limited, I let you live. But I gave you life, what else could you do? To do what is right, I am perfect, are you?
We're not all perfect. Not all of us are perfect, man. I will say this, though, for the ending, I thought the ending was really fucking cool, dude.
No, you missed my favorite line in that song.
Which line was that?
Listen to this. Man alone, born of stone, will stamp the dust of time. His hands strike the flame of his soul, ties a rope to a tree and hangs the universe until the winds of laughter blows cold.
That is pretty good, man. That was pretty cool. Hey, you can probably take some influence for this stuff right here too, man. You know? No computer stands in my way. Only blood can cancel my pain. Guardians of a nuclear dawn. Yeah, dude, I'm looking at these and I am surprised that the Terminator movies have not used this for a soundtrack, to be honest. You know?
I've only ever seen the first two Terminator movies. I refuse to watch any of the other ones.
Yeah, I've watched the third one and then afterwards I was done. Although I did want to check out the one with Christian Bale, you know, where he had his infamous meltdown of, hey, it's fucking distracting. I'm going to fucking kick your fucking ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually do have the audio, and somebody actually made a remix of it, which I was considering to use for the theme music for the Roger Radio Show, but I don't know if I would get copyrighted, to be honest. I would have to take a look back. Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes brain salad surgery. What would I say about this? To be honest, I wasn't a fan of the first 4 songs, but I was a huge fan of Carnival 9, especially all 4 parts. So it's because of this, I can only give it a 5 out of 10. Mainly because Carnival 9 was the only thing I really enjoyed, but the other 4 songs I just did not like at all. And obviously, my most favorite song is First Impression Part 2 of Carnival 9. My least favorite would be fucking Benny the fucking Bouncer. Second would be Jerusalem. Third would be Still You Turn Me On, and then Toccata. Just for my least favorites. So
I'd say the only song on there I didn't like was Jerusalem. Yeah. I liked every other song on there.
But what would you say your most favorite is?
Carnival 9 First Impression Part 2.
I thought you were going to say Benny the Bouncer for a moment. But yeah, I was going to say, just imagine if Jerusalem, they ended up making it as an anti-Semitic song, dude. That probably would have made it way more controversial than it was back then, you know? Oh. I'm just saying, you know? But building Jerusalem in England, that does not make any sense at all. It just doesn't. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching today's podcast. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing the content to you. If you want to see more stuff from us, if you have any more suggestions, or what is your favorite Emerson, Lake and Palmer song, what is your favorite thing from Brain Salad Surgery, leave it in the comments below. Subscribe to the Roger Radio Show, hit that thumbs up, and hit the bell to be notified on when we upload. Be sure to follow me on all my social media. Subscribe to the Intermission group. And if you are an independent band or musician who wants to be interviewed and have your music promoted, reach out to me at rogerroads90@yahoo.com. The links to everything, including the album that we reviewed, will be in the description below. Aegis, you got any final thoughts? I totally get that, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, until next time. Ta-ta!
Peace.